I'm travelling quite a long way this weekend. I'm going all the way to Birmingham because I'm giving a talk at the NEC for the photography show. Very, very excited. It's the second year in a row that I have been invited to speak, so I'm very happy about that. But the train journey from Norfolk is incredibly long. Tomorrow I will be travelling for about 6 hours. I'm going to be there for 2 nights and then I'll be travelling home on Sunday. I have decided to pack 4 books. 4 books for 3 days. Now that might be overkill. I may well not finish all of them. I may not even start all of them, but I've chosen 3 relatively short ones. I mean, this bottom one is the longest, I think, but it is also hardback, so it does look a lot bigger. But for instance, Portrait of an Unknown Lady by Maria Gainza is not quite 200 pages, just shy of 200 pages, and the writing is pretty big, so potentially this is the sort of book I could finish on a train journey. Potentially. So I may well knock off 2 books on the way there and on the way back. In fact, Tokyo Ueno Station is 168 pages and big writing, so another one that I could finish quite quickly. And then I'm going to be taking Everything Under by Daisy Johnson, which is the 3rd book that I need to read for my Booker Prize 2018 reading vlog, and Sealed by Naomi Booth, which is the 2nd book in my Naomi Booth reading vlog. So I'll take you with me. We'll see how I get on. We're on our way. I've got about an hour's wait at this train station. So we're going to start our first book. Portrait of an Unknown Lady by Maria Gainza. Rain. Lighting in this really cheap hotel is terrible, but anyway, let's do what we can. Journey here, I did finish Portrait of an Unknown Lady. I'm not sure what I think about this book. So objectively it's really, really, really good. The author, I believe, is an art critic. Like, she writes articles about art and the art scene in Brazil, I think. And so that really comes across in the language that she used, in the sort of imagery that she's using, the way that she draws parallels between things, and the storyline, of course, which is about like a group of forgers who make lots of money out of art forgeries, and then this woman who was working in a valuations department sort of gets sucked in with this one particular character, and she like goes in search of her to find out more about her, because she's like this elusive character. And so like on paper this is like my perfect book. Like, I really love that sort of thing, and in fact it really reminded me of Loat by Shola von Reinhold. So if you haven't read that, read that, because that was really good. And potentially if you liked that, you would like this one as well. But for some reason I just couldn't concentrate on it. I just kept finding that my mind was wandering and very aware of what was going on around me on the train, whereas normally I'm quite good at just sort of losing myself in a book. Like, I was really conscious of the sun on my leg, like the warmth, and I was conscious of the conversations going on around me. Whereas, as I say, again, usually I can really lose myself in a book, so I come away from the book knowing that there was poetic imagery, knowing that it was well written, knowing the plot line, but not really feeling like I got much out of the book. So it's a really hard one, because I do think it was a good book, but I don't think it was for me. And so on the final little bit of my journey, I picked up Sealed by Naomi Booth. Now this is the second Naomi Booth that I'm reading. I've just read her debut novella, and this is her first ever novel. This is like horror, it's sort of creepy. Whereas this one, even on the short train journey, so I only read, what am I up to? Page 20 or something? Yeah, I'm on page 20 and I already felt sucked into this. I already felt like I was there. So I don't think it's the day, like I don't think it's me. I think it's just like me and this book don't gel, I think is the answer. Whereas this one, I'm really sucked in already. So, this is day 1 and I'm on book 2. Okay, it's day 2. I'm about to head over to the NEC from my hotel. I'm going to be checking out, and from the NEC I'm going to be travelling home on the train at lunchtime. I just wanted to check in though, because I wanted to talk about the fact that I feel so emotionally drained right now. Now of course, I have to concede that I don't sleep well in new places, so I didn't get very much sleep last night and I didn't get very much sleep the night before, so I do feel very tired. We also went out last night for a drink after the show, you know, stall holders and some of the guests and some of the speakers. But I only had one drink, so let's put that into context. I only had one gin and tonic. But yeah, it is very visually overstimulating and it's noisy and there's a lot of people, and I'm one of those people that gets quite overwhelmed by it all. Add into that the nerves. I feel much less nervous this year giving my talk than I did last year. Last year I was a bundle of nerves. But it is still a nerve-wracking thing to do. You're still putting yourself out there in front of a crowd of people. And so I was sat having my breakfast this morning and I could feel like tears welling up. I was getting really emotional, and I think it's just because I feel quite overwhelmed by it. It's quite a lot to take in. And I think I'm just one of those people that gets very overwhelmed with these sorts of things. So I just wanted to put that out there. Just wanted to let other people know, because I did talk to some people yesterday who felt the same way. They felt the overwhelm of it. And I know I'm not the only one, but I just thought I'd mention it. Okay, so I couldn't update you when I finished this book because I was on the train and I didn't really want to do this on the train. But the second book I finished was Sealed, and this was so good. This is everything that I want when I read horror. It is creepy, like body horror. Like I was sat on the train literally like there is a birthing scene in it that's just like so definitely not for everyone. This is going to have a lot of trigger warnings. It's very much about a woman who has some serious disease-based anxieties. She gets very sort of compulsive and obsessive over illnesses and even things like the carcinogens in packaging and stuff like that. So it was a 5-star read. Like, I literally don't know how to talk about it because it was horrifying. It had a visceral feeling for me. It was so disgusting, but I don't actually know who I would recommend this to because it was so gross. And so then I started the third book, which was Tokyo Ueno Station by Miri. But similar to Portrait of an Unknown Lady, I struggled to stay engaged. I think this is slightly better than Portrait of an Unknown Lady. I love the way that it's sort of splitting between this gentleman's life and then him as a ghost watching the people that he used to spend time with. But I was just really struggling to stay engaged, and in the end I put it down because I thought, I'm just not taking any of this in. And I just accepted that I was perhaps tired travelling back from the show. But I do want to finish it. So where did I get to? I got to page 53 of 168, so I've got 110 pages left of it. Yeah, so it's nice, but this one is like the standout for this weekend. Like, it really gripped me. It had me absolutely just enthralled. It had me by the grip of the neck. Like, it was just, ugh. So there we have it, guys. The 3 books that I read on this weekend.